My name is Barb Dunn, and a little bit about me. I've been in real estate for about 30 years. I work in student housing, affordable student housing, midterm rentals, long-term rentals, and I'm a part of syndications, multifamily syndications across the US. Um, my Everest, I moved here 8 years ago. I'm in Sun Valley, Idaho, and a lot of my friends are moving away, and I didn't understand that. They can't afford to live here. So I thought I'd try to do something about it, and I wanted to develop kind of a package for destination towns across the nation, because everybody has the same issue, to streamline it and make it easier for affordable housing to happen. Basically, do the heavy lifting and have some kind of package that makes that work. And then Judith saw Owners Club, and then Judith and I met in Boston, sat next to each other, and we have the same commonalities as far as community leadership, and that's how we connected. So I don't know if you had introed yourself, Judith, or
No, I haven't.
no. So here's Judith.
Thanks. So, as Bob said, we met in Boston, and right away we saw that we had a lot in common and we could help each other build towards our Mount Everest. My background is I'm a social entrepreneur and a psychotherapist. I founded and grew three nonprofits, including one called Teams, which focused on community building across the United States and Central America. I've been a real estate investor for 35 years all around the country. I live in California, but I've invested in multiple cities. Right now, I'm mostly focused on Section 8 multifamily housing in Cleveland. In 2013, I founded a for-profit organization called the Sage Centers, which is a combination business incubator and resource center for people over 50. And we had various working groups, and one of them was on affordable senior housing because that was an issue for many of us there in the business. And from that, led into forming a business I have now with my husband and Clyde Miller, who's a friend and contractor, um, doing accessible uh, dwelling units in people's backyards, granny flats, in-law units, like that kind of thing, called ADUs. And that was also with a focus on affordability and accessibility for seniors. So when Barb and I met, we were talking about how the issue of affordability is at this point mostly driven by corporate and government interests, building high-rise towers and things like that take people out of their neighborhood and out of their comfort zone. And it's very expensive. It's very hard to get permitted. And it's not really scalable to the point where it even begins to address the issues that we face for affordability across the country. Instead of isolating people, we want to be able to keep them where they live and let them be continue to be part of the community that they know. Um, so by focusing on infill development, we use underutilized and sometimes blighted land and return its use to the neighborhoods to make vibrant housing for people. And we are able to do this without depending on grants and corporate funding because we partner with homeowners, small investors, and community-based organizations such as churches, nonprofits, and mission-aligned groups. And by reducing the land costs, we, through those kinds of alliances and also through lot splits and shared equity, we can bring the cost of the development down to keep the properties affordable. Um, we also are able to reduce construction costs by using existing infrastructure. So when you build a infill lot, all the utilities, everything at the site, the roads are already there. You don't have to create the sidewalks, all the stuff with a normal big development project. And we also use modular housing and use designs that we can repeat in multiple locations, which reduces all the costs of architect and design and that sort of thing. So our goal, our joint Everest now, is to directly support 40,000 people across the United States within the next 4 to 5 years. And before I wasn't sure if we could do it. Now that we have our team, I know we can. We're looking forward to being able to JV with many people in the community in order to spread this around. So, no, can't hear you again. Can't hear you.
Last but not least, we have to introduce Sydney, who's just Oh,
a crucial part of this.
yes. Do you want to talk about yourself, Sydney?
Yeah. So my name's Sydney DeRose, and I am from the Los Angeles, Southern California area. And I originally joined Top Tier last year. And I also work for Heather Gazard and REI Integrator. My husband and I have a small short-term rental business called Unique Stays Club, and we focus on themed short-term rentals. But I originally connected with Barb beginning of this year, end of last year. And I'm really excited for what the Orbit program has brought to affordable infill housing and how it's really built momentum in their business. And Barb, did you want to talk about how we're here?
Yeah, how come we're here? So I was at Golden Ticket in Phoenix, and during one of the breaks, Pace was up on stage, and I approached him and just said, hey, Pace, I have to tell you, thank you for inventing or creating the Orbit program, because, oh my gosh, game changer. The quality of people that came forward and want to work with us blew us away. I mean, our goal was to have 3 projects by January 1st coming up. And now we're like, wait a minute, that's just way too small. We can take this nationwide. And he's like, well, you need to tell people in the community. Why don't we do an interview? I was like, absolutely. And thanks to Sydney and all the systems, it just happened. And oh my gosh, I just can't speak to it enough. It's huge. So he was just really great. He's always really approachable, which is wonderful. But he was saying a lot of people aren't utilizing Orbit program. And that's unfortunate, because it's a valuable, valuable, valuable resource that's attainable. And we want to show everybody how.
Yeah, so I can talk a little bit about how we sort of got our Orbit program started. For us, it started actually back at Squad Up before it was really pushed out, the Orbit program. So Barb and Judith had a roundtable at Squad Up, and we knew that was going to be really vital for them to just build their connections and networking. So on a systems level, I went ahead and set up for their Blink card using Zapier to transfer into Go High Level, which is their CRM. So we're building up those contacts and those networks to utilize in the future. So when the Orbit program came to be, we were like, oh my gosh, perfect. We have this, all these resources to reach out to. So I was actually, could I share my screen? I mentioned I work with Heather Gazard. So for her, she has developed workflow waffles, which are snapshots that can be utilized within Go High Level. And so this is exactly what we used for Barb and Judith getting their Orbit program started. So this is workflow waffles. And what's great is this is available to the whole community. You can purchase it, and it pretty much comes with a landing page, the automation's already set up for the onboarding process to get the interview streamlined, contracts for your Orbit members to have with you to make sure everything is squared away on that end. So an example of that, I've adjusted this or modified it to be affordable infill housing specific. So what's nice is a lot of this text comes in that snapshot, and then from there you can modify it to make sure it is branded to whatever your business is for those who want to utilize this. But from here, it's just a description of what the Orbit program is, what it provides, some of the expectations. I wrote, there's a thing in here about Barb and Judith and their business, exactly what this Orbit program is related to with affordable infill housing. And then we have our application. And so, yeah, that snapshot really was a fast track to get Orbit members onboarded and gain attention. And it was amazing. We were super impressed with the amount of people that applied and the quality of the people that applied. Yeah, Judith, do you want to talk a little bit about some of those applicants? You're muted.
Sure, I would be really glad to. So when we first decided to try the Orbit program, we thought it was just going to be a short internship. People, we could help them a little, they could help us a little. We had no idea what we were getting into. And we wanted to expand our business, but we didn't have the capital yet to hire staff. So we thought we'd just have them do some of the things we'd normally pay people to do, administrative kind of stuff. But the quality of the applicants, as people have said, far exceeded our expectations, and we shifted models. Both Barb and I have community building experience to really understanding who these people were and what they brought to the table. And because of who they are, we expanded our business, I'd say, at least 4 times as fast as we ever would have thought. And we're really building a team. We're not just hiring people. That's the difference in what we're doing. And the way that we do the Orbit program is related to that. We'll explain that as we go along. But first, we wanted to have Sydney explain how she has managed um, keeping the team together on a technical basis, because that has been really important.
Sure. So what's been really helpful for us as far as operating and like implementing what the program is, we've been using Slack, ClickUp, and Loom a lot. And what's nice is that all of these systems are free. So if you're getting your Orbit program started, it's super accessible. So Slack for us has been about just consolidating communications, keeping everyone on the same page, and just organizing where some sort of resources can be kept, including Loom tutorials. So I've been utilizing that a lot to just show our team members how to use these systems. Any questions that come up, Loom is a really great kind of hands-on way to show team members how certain things are working or if they have any questions. And then ClickUp, we've been using that for task and time management. And that's a really great way to stay organized. You can assign team members tasks. So we have weekly meetings. And then after those meetings, we have our tasks for the week. And within there, you can give them all the information that they need to accomplish those tasks. So that's been really helpful for us. And again, love that it's free, especially for teams that are just getting started. They don't really know what they're getting into. You can just dive and experiment with those systems, which is great.
So now we love to talk about some of the members of our team, so you get an idea why we keep singing their praises. Um, that's us. You've heard about us already.
Yeah, Frankie, I work with Frankie. He's from Boise. He's a wholesaler, a fix and flipper, and a developer, and he's been doing that for about 8 years now. He has been bringing us deals left and right. I mean, I trust him. He's a great guy. He's more about making the deal go through as opposed to wanting to make a lot of money. And that's a really, really key thing that I've found working with wholesalers isn't always the case. So he's I can't speak highly enough of him. I love listening to how his brain works. It's just like, whoa, I just learned so much. It's like, wow, I didn't even think of that. He's really, really creative. So he wants to work with us nationwide, be our closer, and just make it happen.
And Clyde is a developer and project manager. He is one of our partners in our backyard residence business. He's been a developer for 35 years. He's built everything from single family ADUs to 32-story apartment buildings. He's also a very good teacher and a wonderful human being. So he's available to help us build this out by he's willing to go around the country showing people how the project will work and all the different pieces of it to make it work. So they are not Orbit members, obviously. They are part of our team. Then we get into the Orbit members of our team. And the first of them is Daniel Green, who is a Gator. He's based in Jacksonville, Florida. He's our IT expert and AI enthusiast. He's also a real estate investor in the Philadelphia area. In a few short weeks, he had mastered all of the different online applications that we use to identify potential projects, both on market and off market. And he's now diving into preliminary underwriting. So basically, he finds deals all over, does a preliminary underwriting, sends them on to me. He's very quick learner, has lots of initiative, and he's just a positive, focused human being. He's a delight to be around. I'm very glad to have him. Barb, we can't hear you again. Unmute.
Next, we have Tasha Ramwala. She is from the Bay Area as well. We thought she could help with boots on the ground. She's our land acquisitions expert. She's on her second master's. Her first one, I want to make sure I get it correctly. Her first one is moving image archiving, and now her second one is executive MBA. So she's trying to fit us in while she's going to school, plus working full time, but she's invaluable. It's just great. She's wants to learn and learns fast.
Next is Cheryl Henderson. She's a Gator based in Washington. She's also a top tier TC. She's a seasoned real estate investor and brings a broad, rich blend of skills and life experiences to the team. Her family has been involved in affordable housing and helping the disability community and homeless communities in her area for decades. And she's also a very strong administrator and has good financial background. So she's a magic kind of person who's both an innovator and an implementer. She has the ideas, but she actually gets them done, and we're very glad to have her. Again, Barb, mute.
Not used to this. Stephanie Yonkers, she's a powerhouse partner and steady hand behind our financial strategy. 20 years experience in being a music educator. She's a licensed Keeler Williams agent in La Jolla, sub-2 member, and she's scaling her own portfolio. She's leading our fractional funding efforts, bringing value-aligned capital and helping investors confidently take part in our mission to keep locals local.
Next is Lizette Rosales. Barb, if you can mute again. Okay, Lizette Rosales, who is a new member of Owners Club. She's an absolute powerhouse. She lives in Las Vegas, but is moving around the country all the time because she and her husband run a national event transportation management business. They're the people who can get thousands of people from one venue to another in 45 minutes, so the event keeps going on. And they can do this in multiple cities at one time, which is totally amazing to me. She's really an expert at recruiting and leading teams across multiple cities and managing complex logistics under a lot of pressure without cracking. She brings a strong national network, both for funding and for logistics, as well as a lot of experience in project management, obviously. She is a powerful resource and connector, and we're very excited for you to get to know her. Barb.
You should just keep track of that, Rich. You're better at it than I am. Leslie Graves, she's a successful home health and assisted living manager. She shifted to financial services and then moved into real estate. She and her husband own Airbnb tiny home business in the Smokies in Tennessee, and she is our outreach and branding and marketing director. She has a strong digital presence. She makes everyone and everything we do see us as intentional and making sure that I'm losing my mind here. She leads our outreach and branding and digital. She's just been a fast learner. Sydney's working closely with her and teaching her how to move into that realm, and she just takes it on and does really well with it. So we're really thankful that she's wanting to take on all of our marketing.
Ty Hilton is a newer member of our team. She's also a new Owners Club member. She lives in Alexandria, Virginia, but she and her husband invest in multifamilies in the Baltimore area. We originally got involved because they wanted to build an ADU on their own house in Alexandria. But of course, we started talking with each other and realized there was much more to this than that. And where we are now with them is taking their Baltimore properties and 1031 exchanging them into other multifamily properties where there's room to build multifamily ADUs and to develop that component of our model. And she's also going to be our East Coast coordinator for expansion. She's also a very positive, friendly human being, just a delight to be around, and we're very happy that she's joined our team.
And then Cindy Timmerman, who is a woman I met at the Golden Ticket event. We were all staying at the same hotel, and she's new to Sub2, I think only a month in or something, or Gator, both, I think. And she was like, oh, I don't know where I fit in. And I was like, well, tell me a little bit about yourself. Well, I ran a nonprofit organization as a director and did all their fundraising. I'm like, you're a fundraiser. So she was just wonderful to work with, and she wants to be on our team. So we've initially asked her to raise 2.5 million to support our mission, and she's on it. She's really, really incredible, and we're so fortunate to have her with us.
Right. As a nonprofit director, fundraising takes up at least a third of your time. And the hardest part of it is the direct to donor fundraising. And that's the stuff that she's really skilled at. So this is a huge boon to us. So that's our team. This is how they fit into our org chart. And Sydney, you were going to talk about how we keep things together.
Sure, yeah. So I already discussed some of our systems like Slack, ClickUp, and Loom. And again, having such a diverse orbit team where they have so many skills that they're bringing to the table. We've been able to utilize them in sort of different departments, but a lot of them have also just like a vast knowledge where they have so much to bring. And vice versa, we're bringing them into affordable infill housing to see how that process works. And so using these systems as well has been really valuable because it gives us the documentation to like really get our systems and processes in order to show like how does this system work in keeping everything documented and getting to that goal of it being an easily repeatable process. And Judith, I'll take it back to you to show how this process flows and how the orbit members fit into it.
So we have weekly team meetings, and they accomplish a number of things. It's an opportunity for people to get to know each other better, to share wins, to help each other with challenges they're facing in their real estate businesses, not just in our business. And then there's a training component. Some of the training is done by team members. We have been focused on our part of the training on following a typical deal cycle. And we strongly encourage people to listen to the Zooms that are in the vault about the basics of all this stuff. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel at all. But what we're doing is we're using current projects that we're working on to go through the stages of learning how to do real estate and getting a deep dive into the specifics of certain deals so that people can see how it actually works when you're in the trenches. So we've completed the acquisition section. We're just starting on underwriting and working our way through a project that we have under contract right now.
And then that's about it. We do have a podcast called Keeping Locals Local, which if anybody out there is interested, please reach out and join us. Love to have you on. And then we also are doing a workshop in September in San Francisco. So if you go to over here, if you go, our Blink card is on top, and on the bottom it goes to our website, and there's a link there to sign up, get on the wait list for the workshop.
Or to submit a deal if you want to JV
Yeah.
with us. That's on the website too.
Well, that's the whole point of this, is what we're, not only the Orbit program, but we want to JV with people across the nation and show them how you can do this and how to work with us so they can go and do it in their own communities.
And for those of you who are interested in implementing the Orbit program, we'd be glad to help. So we look forward to hearing from you.
Wow, I am thoroughly impressed in how you guys have implemented the Orbit program. You guys have vastly exceeded what I was expecting by any means. You mentioned you've kind of 4x'd your timeline already. When you originally sat down, just you and Barb, and we're kind of navigating these waters and identifying, obviously, your Mount Everest, the 40,000 people you wanted a home in an infill housing. What's the word here? What was the catalyst for that 4x? Was it the technology that you incorporated with Sydney? I mean, and let me step back as well. I am really, really impressed with the caliber of the individuals you guys have incorporated in your team as well. That is super impressive. And again, vastly exceeded what I was expecting. So can you kind of walk me through what your true expectations were in the beginning, and now you guys are really on a whole new trajectory with this.
Yes, exactly. Well, so the first thing, we had the idea that we wanted to be national. We had the idea that we wanted to work with churches and other religious organizations. And we had the idea that we wanted to do the multifamily ADUs. And we were starting to build that out on our own. But then when people came in, it's like Lizette is like, we actually could do a national thing right now. She has amazing resources all around the country. And the same thing with Ty in the multifamily, and the whole experience of being able to leverage people in terms of the social media with Sydney and Leslie. It's like we had the pieces in mind of what we needed to do to grow, but we didn't have the capacity ourselves to do this. And now, and our thinking was that we would have to find people and teach them to do something that we were just learning how to do, which is not a lot of fun, for me at least. And no, we're being able to partner with people who have these skills and figure out together, like we have regular meetings with Lizette, figuring out how are we going to do this national expansion. That's a totally different game.
Oh, 100%.
And
Can you kind
having,
of walk me through, oh, I'm sorry, Barb.
I was gonna say, and having Ty, she brought to a light that she mentioned that she wanted to do something in her backyard, and that she's like, oh, my brother, actually, he lives near the hospital, and boy, he would like to do something like this. And that prompted this whole movement to work with all of the REI functions that she goes to and ask them, you know, you want to do a 1031 exchange, find a piece of property that has an existing rental, but then add one in the back. And then that opened up a whole new thing. So she's going to be our East Coast affiliate and just run with it.
Right.
That is incredible. Can you walk me through how the Orbit program is mutually beneficial for all team members?
Well, many of them have not done, some have, but many of them have not done a real estate deal. They've been taking, like we all have, taking endless classes and not knowing where to start and feeling overwhelmed with trying to figure out what to do. And so actually going through the deals, taking the courses that are in the vault, but then going through the deals step by step by step, seeing what actually happens. What do you do? Because this is what actually happens when the obstacles come up. How do you solve these obstacles? Because that's what keeps you in the game instead of quitting. And the other thing is they're all learning from each other because they have different skills. Everybody's contributing.
I love that. And I mean, in this scenario, I mean, it's obvious, you know, you guys have an amazingly strong team, but it takes a village, you know,
Right,
and
exactly.
you guys are all a component in that wheel to make this happen. I'm thoroughly impressed.
We're blessed is what it is. Every time another one of these, we said we were going to have 3 or 4 people, and then another person comes forward and they're just totally amazing and say, we got to let them in. And then it's like, it goes on and on like this.
Yeah. And how did they find you? Were you guys posting this in Facebook? How did they find you?
Yeah, so we were posting this in Facebook, in the community groups, on Instagram, and then also, like I mentioned, we had in our CRM all those contacts. So we just did an email campaign blast to be like, hey, join our Orbit program, and linked them to that landing page. So,
And then we had the contacts from the roundtable squad.
yeah.
Love that. And I love that you have leveraged some amazing tools, Slack, ClickUp. I love ClickUp personally. And there's all free versions. So you're not incurring any added expenses by doing so, but you are adding a ton of value and really just ironing out processes. So I love it.
Yeah, during that workshop that we're going to have in September, a portion of the time is going to be speaking directly to the Orbit program and how to onboard people and what are the systems, how do you get going? And it's just a game changer. Yeah, use us. I mean, we're a clear example. It works well and works. It just will scale.
I
In
love it tremendously. We are implementing, we've got, as you guys will see, I'm going to be a little bit of a reveal here at the immersion. We're revealing the Bird Dog Challenge. You know, Pace is going to walk through all the cheat codes. And then we're revealing the Bird Dog Challenge, where we're also having the wedge method challenge, the Orbit program challenge. So I would love to be able to showcase you guys in this scenario when we're really promoting the Orbit program. You guys are truthfully leading the way. I have not had any other members approach me about how they're utilizing the Orbit program as of yet. And you guys have really hit the ground running, and I'm thoroughly impressed.
Well, that's what a lot of people that approached us said. It's like, you are the only ones that were organized, and just was, you know, oh my gosh, how could we not join this team? They're already on board and doing it. And that was to Sydney's, you know, kudos to Sydney.
Many.
I know what's nice though is it is accessible to the community. I think sometimes maybe there's that feeling of like, oh, well, I don't know where to get started. How do I even set this up? And so yeah, that Go High Level snapshot is definitely a great tool to use, and it really solves a lot of the, problems for you to just fast track you and get you going. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so for those for the audience that are watching, just kind of discuss what the Go High Level snapshot is. It's basically a connector to your current Go High Level account, correct?
Yes, that's correct. So basically what you do if you already have a Go High Level account, then you would take sort of this link or code, you would paste it into your Go High Level, and then all of these automations and basically a blueprint to get you started would be up and running. And all you would have to do is customize it however you'd like if you want to put your branding in it. But it really does like 98% of the work for you to get you started onboarding people, which is really nice.
That is incredible. And that's a one-time charge, or is that a monthly charge?
It's a one-time charge.
That's amazing. That's amazing. What value? That is a huge value.
Yeah,
I've been
really.
using Go High Level myself for the last 2.5 years for my businesses. Phenomenal CRM. I love it. And to have those little tools of those connectors, just game changers.
One thing Sydney's neglecting to mention is that she does little Loom videos to show us, because what if you're not familiar with Go High Level, you can go in there and get lost in the weeds. She's really great about saying, okay, here's where you go, this is what you need, and then get out. And that she's already done the heavy lifting for everyone. We would love to help. It's great.
I love it.
Another piece I think that's really important is that both Barb and I have community building backgrounds. So it's not like we come into this and don't know how to make a team. We take the skills we have from the rest of our lives and bring it in here. I know for me, that's what attracted me to this community in the first place, is Pace's emphasis on this is about a community. It's not about a mentorship. And we're just implementing that with the skills that we have.
And
I
what's
love
one rule? Get on a team. Well, here's your team.
Yeah, you definitely leveraged it, and you're leveraging everybody's skill set 100%. And have you guys have I know you guys are kind of at the beginning stages, not necessarily the beginning because you guys have some traction. Have you guys done any deals yet?
We're in the middle of one now. It's under contract. It's supposed to close right after the retreat. Everything works right. And it's an existing house with an ADU in a nice suburban area on a half-acre lot, which is really unusual there. And the house and the ADU were built at the back of the lot with a road that goes all the way from the street, and all the utilities already in all the way from the street to the back of the lot. And California law allows you to do an automatic lot split because of all the need for affordable housing. So we're going to add a bedroom and a bath to the existing house, fix it up. It needs to be updated, and sell that and do the lot split. And then we have free land in front. And we're thinking about partnering with people doing co-living in the community and building an intentional co-living household in the front.
I love that strategy. That's awesome. That's totally awesome. Congratulations.
Right. Well, it's like a $500 savings, but I have to buy the land for
Yeah, it's
California.
huge,
Yeah.
especially in California.
Right. Exactly.
That is huge.
Right.
How big is the AD unit in the back?
900 square feet. That's pretty typical.
Okay,
So
yeah, no, that's fair. That's great.
No, and that one's unusual because it's only a one bedroom for 900 square feet. 8 to 900 square feet, we can do a two-bedroom easily. That's what we normally do. So we have our own models that are a little bit more efficient than the one that was there.
I love that. What is your ideal size of an ADU?
Well, we have two different models that we want to implement. So a single family ADU is around 750 square feet for a two-bedroom, one bath. For depending, there are zoning laws that usually relate the percentage of the
Lot size?
footprint. No, it's based on the footprint of the existing house.
Hmm.
How big you can build the ADU for the most part. But what we're really interested in with these multifamily ADUs is building fourplexes of townhomes, and if we can, building them as condos so that we have the option of doing rent to own on the condos and helping people have affordable ownership, not just
I love that.
affordable renting.
I love that concept. That is a great concept. Home ownership, affordable home
ownership,
ownership
right.
is amazing.
So my husband and I, that's what we mostly did before in real estate, was rent to own and helping people financially get their stuff together so they could qualify for the loans. And then the other thing is with the churches and nonprofits, you can take existing parking. A lot of them have schools that they're no longer using, things like that. Repurpose the existing built-out space and build ADUs, the same kind of townhome models in the parking areas, and partner with the churches so that they have ongoing income, which most of them need because their congregations are dwindling, and they can provide affordable housing for senior members and other members of their community that need it.
Yeah,
Man, go ahead, Barb, sorry.
California is pretty progressive in their legislation, and that would be the next piece, is kind of copy that mode going across the nation as far as bringing and changing those rules and making it accessible for all communities to be able to implement affordable living.
I love it. It's a game changer for sure. Now that you've built out this incredible team and you guys are going nationwide, how does that change your Mount Everest?
Well, first of all, like changing our brains is the first step. It's like, maybe we could do this. Yeah, we could probably do this. To like, we are doing this.
Yeah.
So then the numbers just keep going up of how many people we can help. And of course, the more we can JV with people, the more people we can help. We're not doing it by ourselves. And oh, I almost forgot when you said about wedge method. So that's how we plan to integrate the people on our team into our business in the long run, is have them become partners based on, we have to figure out a financial strategy, what each piece of a deal is worth. I can't wait to get to the retreat and talk to people about that. And then people can, whatever they've done, they can earn that part of the deal. Or we already have people on the team who are bringing us deals who are outside of our buy box, and they become the primary and we become the secondary ones with the wedge method, just for helping them. So everybody has to benefit.
I love that. I love that. Speaking of your buy box, have you updated your buy box now as it has completely expanded?
I just updated the other day.
Okay.
So it doesn't say clearly enough that we're looking for people around the country. I think we need to make that clear.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah, it's pretty clear, I think.
Yeah, because I do want to mention we are on the back end uploading everybody's buy boxes to Pace GPT to make it make you guys and your guys' buy boxes very convenient in searching. So they can just say, hey, I've got this asset type and this location. You know, who could I work with? Judith and Barb and Sydney. Here you go.
Well, also being monitors on the Discord channel, we have our own Discord.
Perfect.
That's going to really valuable as well. People will have easy access to people too.
Yes, and here just in a short amount of time, the entire communities are going to be involved in Creative Campus, and you guys are going to have a huge influx of traffic, and it is going to be super exciting.
Well, that's what I told the team the other day. Hang on to your hats. We're going.
Well, and I'm so excited for you guys because you guys have really structured yourselves to be effective, and now you guys are prepared for that influx. So it's super exciting.
That's Sydney, right?
Good job, Sydney.